Hello everyone, welcome to this episode 30 of the Wild Eye Diaries, hosted by myself. There is quite a bit to get through in this episode. The guides have all been scattered. Currently I'm actually the only guide in office. Mike's been in office with me for the last 2 days, but he has taken a bit of leave and he has headed to Nelspruit. So I'll kick off with my segment for this week of the diaries. The last 2 weeks, in fact, have been very, very busy. I hosted a private safari in the Timbavati at Kembaku Safari Lodge. We had an absolutely incredible time there. Game viewing was phenomenal. Guests were great and the lodge staff were fantastic. I posted a blog yesterday. It's on our website, www.wild-eye.com, under blogs. It's just a few highlights to showcase some of the good images and the great sightings that we had while we were in the Timbavati. Looking back at the blog and going through the images, it's incredible what we managed to see over the course of 5 days in the Timbavati. I then returned home for a night before heading up to the Masai Mara, where I hosted a migration safari with Grant, Marcus and Mike. Also another successful week. Always great to be up in the Mara. I feel so privileged to have been up there 3 times already this year, and I've still got another trip coming up in October. Just nice to be around the staff there, the Masai, incredible humans, really nice, good group of guests, and we also had some fantastic game viewing. Predator sightings, we saw 3 different leopards, we saw numerous different lions, we had some great male lion viewing, and that also included seeing the beautiful male called Scar. He was at the airstrip, Serena airstrip, where we land, out in the open, and it was the best that I've seen him, and he's looking really good. So all in all, it was a successful week up in the Mara. I came back into office on Wednesday, and you can imagine lots of admin to get through, having been away for 2 weeks. So tackling emails, general admin, busy with working on a new Safari page as well, which is going to be live shortly. So yeah, been quite a crazy 3 days back in the office. And with that said, that's my segment done. The rest of the guides are scattered all over. I know Jerry's on holiday. He's in Turkey, enjoying some downtime with his wife. And Marlon is in the Pantanal in Brazil. He's hosting his first safari ever there. He's had some pretty spectacular and special sightings so far, so pretty envious of him. Johan gives a brief update from home. He heads off to Camp Shawu in the Kruger Park and then South Luangwa, so he's got a busy couple of weeks ahead of him. Alistair gives us an update from the Mara, something slightly different. He's up there currently hosting a migration safari with Grant and Jono. And Andrew's just returned from Mana Pools in Zimbabwe, and they have had an absolutely incredible time there. Mike, last but not least, he gives an update on our last week up in the Mara, a couple of highlights of the sightings that we saw, but also just chatting about the migration going forward. So with that said, check out the guide segments.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Wild Eye Diaries, hosted by Trev. I'm currently in our Mara camp alongside Grant and Jono, and today's been our first full day of the week, so not too many updates for this week's diaries insert, although we had an incredible morning this morning. Male lions chasing other sub-adult male lions, guests have seen leopard, we saw a small crossing as well, so we're off to a flying start. But instead of talking about the wildlife like we always do in terms of our updates from the Mara, everyone by now should know how special this place is in terms of the sightings. I thought I'd change it up a bit and show you some of the back of house operations, one of them being the laundry. People wonder how clothes get washed and ironed and returned to you on the same day. This is how. So let me take you back of scenes and you can see exactly what goes on back here. 2 very special ladies that take care of our washing. Grace?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What are you up to?
Washing clothes.
Washing clothes. It looks like you guys have been super busy today, eh?
Yeah.
Wow, look at all that. So talk us through, how does it work here? Do you guys use electricity and washing machines?
We use washing machine,
Yeah?
but no electricity, it's solar.
Okay.
And sometimes we use our heart when the solas bring problem.
In these big buckets over here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mary,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm good, and you?
You're a familiar face to the Wild Eye fans.
Yes.
How are things going back here? You guys have had a busy day, it looks like.
Yes, we've got a lot of washing.
Okay, you guys have had a busy day, it looks like.
Yes, we've got a lot of washing
Okay,
from last week.
all right.
We are doing all the washing. We are doing washing towels, bed sheets, everything. Clothes
Busy,
for the
busy.
guests.
All right.
Yes.
Well, there you have it, guys. It's obviously a very busy part of the back of house Wild Eye Camp. And this is how guests get clean washing every single day. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of the Wild Eye Diaries. As you would have seen in last week's episode, myself, Trevor and Grant were hosting a great migration safari in the Masai Mara. But it was, as you would have heard if you watched that episode, somewhat of a different safari experience because the group we were hosting weren't too photographically driven and they were more focused on just being out there, taking it all in and enjoying their time out in the Masai Mara. There were one or two individuals that wanted to learn more about their cameras, which they did. We spent quite a lot of time with them out in the field, obviously teaching them the ropes as to how to use their DSLR cameras, which was great. But in saying this, it was a totally different experience for myself, Trevor and Grant, because 90% of the time we were just back to our old guiding days where we actually just acted as a field guide and stood in, provided knowledge on animal behavior, the patterns, what they're doing and so on. So it was a great change and pretty much a successful week. It was a challenge throughout the week because a lot of the mass herds of wildebeest are still coming in from Tanzania, all spread out along the Olololo escarpment, which is quite a distance away from the Mara River. And these changes are due to the rains that Kenya experienced this year. So there was a lot of rain and also quite a lot later in the year, and that's why animals stuck to or held back a bit in terms of the migration. They only started moving a lot later. So I have quite a good feeling that this year, through October and even into November, we're still going to be witnessing wildebeest and zebra crossing the river. So I'm holding thumbs for that because in October I headed back up into, excuse me, I've caught a bit of a cold and the chest isn't feeling too strong, but hopefully I can recover before, as I mentioned, I head back into the Mara in October to host Masai Mara Experience Week and then Big Cats and Tuskers that takes place in November. And I'm pretty sure that we're still going to be blessed with those big mass herds spread throughout the triangle and into the Conservancy on the other side of the Mara River. But yes, this week has been a shorter one for us. It's been a good week, got a lot that I had to catch up on, which is all great. And yes, I would just like to thank every one of you who are watching this that engage with me throughout all my past safaris. I truly appreciate your feedback and your questions. And yes, I look forward to taking you on more adventures in the future. I hope that you enjoy the rest of this episode. I need to get back to work before I head off to Nelspruit this weekend for a wedding that I'm going to attend. Anyway, have a good one and we'll chat soon. Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Wild Eye Diaries. For me, for this week, it's been pretty much admin-based. I've got quite a busy month lying ahead, and it's so a lot of my week has been getting in contact with those guests traveling with me for the next month. I leave for Camp Shavu in the Kruger tomorrow, and you can see I'm wearing a jersey. It's been very hot the last few days with temperatures getting in excess of 40 degrees Celsius. So today it's nice and cool, hopefully a bit of rain. But leaving for Camp Shavu tomorrow, spending 5 nights there, and then home for about 3 days. And then I fly off to South Luangwa for a week, and then straight onto that, onto Mana Pools for 5 nights. Back then again at home, and then it's I go to Londolozi, and also then a private safari around Cape Town and Kruger again. So nice and busy, but as I mentioned, catching up on some admin work this last week. Also sent through videos and photos for Nicola and Mike, who recently got married at our Wild Eye Mara camp. So some amazing videos, amazing photos, and the great thing is that they're super chuffed about it. So that's always special to hear that. Guys, that's me for the week. Hopefully next week I'll be sharing some more updates in the field with you. But as you can see, we do some real work in between safaris as well. But that's all from my side. Enjoy the rest of this episode, and we'll catch up with you guys again next week. Until then, cheers. Have a good one.
Alright, and that's it for this week's episode 30 of the Wild Eye Diaries. As you can see, guys are fairly spread out, lots on the go at the moment, as always. I'm enjoying a couple of weeks now in the office with the ladies and the guides as they come and go. But I head out on safari towards the middle end of October. I head up to the Masai Mara again for 2 weeks. So got a bit of time in office, catch up on things, and yeah. That's about it from me for this week's episode of the Diaries, and I hope that you have all enjoyed it. I hope that you have had a great week, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Cheers, guys.